Hello, this is Jody King-Colgrove with Quantum Techniques. We have developed a proven technique to quickly determine the root cause of your health issue using a form of energy medicine. I work with people all over the world on the phone, helping them discover why they're having a health issue and what they can do about it. So today is a second part of a series on metabolism. And so what I wanted to cover is different body types. And I found an article I found very helpful for me, and so I wanted to share it. Because sometimes when we look at magazines and things like that in the world, we just say, why isn't my body responding like I see them responding? And the reason being is we have different body types and metabolism. So we have a specific body type, and no matter what kind of training that we do and nutrition programs that we follow, they may never change. And so if we try to compare ourselves with somebody else, that may not be a fair comparison because our bodies are actually different. It can give you a clue about your body response to food and exercise, as well as the characteristics about your sympathetic nervous system and how your body responds to stress and your hormones. So the first type is an ectomorph, and they have small frames with narrow hips and shoulders and long limbs with small joints. Also, they have a hard time gaining muscle. They're sometimes called skinny fat people. Ectotypes' bodies are extremely effective in burning calories, and they naturally have a high level of insulin sensitivity, which means that most of the food that they eat is burned as fuel rather than being stored in the tissue. They have lots of energy to burn, but they can't sit still. These body types usually perform best when they eat a higher percentage of complex carbohydrates than the other types and have more frequent meals. And so you have certain people that are eating different ways, and it's important to know our body types for that. So they combine fats and carbohydrates together will increase the insulin response in the food. So if you stick with consistent strength building routine for these kind of body size, those are deadlifts, squats, pull-ups, and military presses, and rest between 2 to 3 minutes in between, then their workouts will not become a cardio workout. And that's really important that they have that rest and that they're building muscle. Then you have mesomorphs, and they have medium frames with wider shoulders and narrow waists and are naturally muscular and athletic. They tire out fairly quickly, so endurance sports aren't really their thing. Their bodies can gain muscle fairly easily and respond quickly to changes in terrain or nutrition. And so you think about people that run marathons, and they have kind of that lanky kind of thing, and they're trying to burn off all that excess. And I have to admit, I've not been one that really enjoyed marathons. It hasn't been an interest to me. And I tend to be more of this type, the mesomorph, where I really enjoy weight training and exercise. My whole life, I've really enjoyed it. And I gain a lot of muscle, and I feel like I have an athletic body. So that kind of helped me understand why I don't like those kind of long endurance sports. The mesomorph type tend to produce higher amounts of growth hormone and testosterone, which helps them pack on curvy athletic muscles. They are insulin sensitive is average, which means that they can achieve a lean body composition fairly easily when their intake matches their activity level, but they can gain fat easily if they overeat. So they feel like they tend to get bulky if their resistance training program, if they aren't eating appropriately and they can't shed that excess body fat and make the muscle. They balance their carbohydrate intake with their activity level. And I've always found that, just kind of being aware of what I eat and how much with the amount of exercise I'm getting has been helpful. They typically do good on 3 meals a day, including protein and plants at each, and add complex carbohydrate to 1 or 2 meals immediately following their workouts. They avoid carbs in all other meals and add to a source of healthy fat instead. Remember that non-starchy vegetables and fruits are being referred to as plants, not carbs. So don't avoid those. The carbs that you should be eating post-workout, so they will go towards replenishing the energy stores in the muscles. Avoid combining carbs and fats together in the same meal. That one I didn't quite understand because I've always kind of followed the zone diet of doing protein, carbohydrates, and fats all in the same. So I think you kind of have to, that's what muscle testing is great for, is to find out, what you should have at each meal. And I've kind of figured out which is the right percentage for me at each meal. They do well with supersets or circuits in a gym. They stay moving and they have a higher rate while training. And that's something I've always really appreciated, is finding workouts where I can actually lift weights but keep my heart rate elevated throughout the entire time that I'm working out. And I feel like I'm doing two things at the same time. And that's why yoga is a struggle for me, because it's like, well, I'm only doing one thing, but I have learned to appreciate it a lot more. Okay, the last type is Endomorph. Endomorph types carry a lot of muscle mass on their larger frames, and they tend to easily accumulate a higher amount of body fat than other types. They are curvy and voluptuous, and they perform very well with extreme short bursts and strengths and stamina. So they have a lot of strength and they're able to do those short bursts of major energy. They store large portions of their weight in their lower bodies. So they look like a pear shape. They lose weight, or to lose weight takes so much time and effort, but gaining it can take no time at all. So there's kind of a discrepancy there. And they, even though they tend to eat less than other body types, they tend to hold on to the excess weight more. Naturally, low levels of insulin sensitivity is responsible for the percentage of stored nutrients rather than burned as fuel. And they build to thrive. Okay, never mind about that one. So there's slow metabolism and low energy levels, and they have trouble regenerating their body's temperature in hot, humid conditions. You suffer from sluggish thyroid and may have slow reaction times. Start with 2 or 3 meals daily, including protein, plants, and healthy fats at each. Avoid starches or grains completely, and to keep your insulin levels low. Keep your meal times consistent every day and incorporate intermittent fasting occasionally. So I thought that was very interesting to find out which type of intermittent fasting works for which group of body. Be consistent about getting in 2 or 3 good meals, balanced meals, and a couple times a week you can try the intermittent fasting, and that might be helpful for you. Continue to do regular movement like walking, and taking 10 to 30 minute walks after each meal is a simple way to increase your insulin response to your meals. And there's another place in here that I found that walking every day after a meal really helps your digestion and your decrease of insulin. So when my dog is begging me to go out, then I need to listen. They should also use moderate weights and higher reps. And I thought this was kind of interesting here. It kind of showed the different types of the body types. So you have, and I'm not going to read this backwards, so you have the different types. All right, so kind of to sum up a little bit, is the mitochondria is the powerhouse of our cells to convert nutrients into chemical energy. And we build our mitochondria through movement. And the more mitochondria means the more nutrients and the body fat can be converted into fuel. And so I think that's really important to be able to know, how do we build that mitochondria so that we have lots of energy and we have the health of that. So making sure we take care of that through exercise and weightlifting, even taking nutrients, it's going to help clear that out and keep us strong and healthy, are all really good things. So I wanted to share that with you because it really helped me to know that, oh, I have a certain body type, and that's why my body responds different way to exercise. And so I hope that that will help you realize how to be a little bit more understanding of your own body and what it needs to do. You can email me at jody@quantumtechniques.com. I would love to do a session with you so you can find out which type you are and which exercises would be good for how long. And I've worked with several people that have really helped them kind of develop what they should be eating at each meal, how much, what kind of exercise they should be doing, what kind of weightlifting, how many minutes a day they should be doing meditation or yoga and relaxing things. And all that, it kind of makes up your whole body and what's a good balance for you. So visit quantumtechniques.com and learn more about how to take care of your health and happiness. And I hope you have a blessed rest of the day.